Good afternoon, guys. I did a thing. So this is a long bed. So this is a 9 foot bed. The bed I need is 9 feet. Um, I went and got it today, and we had to kind of kitty wampus it on my trailer. So all I've done, I've jacked it up and I put it across. This thing's heavy. It's heavy because inside there, the wood is still underneath there, but it was a farm truck. Someone put in plate steel and they welded it. They welded it. So that plate steel probably weighs more than my truck. I'm kidding. But anyway, so let me bring you in here. So basically all I want to do today, I got it jacked up. I got it sitting on board, so it's sitting up off the trailer totally. Well, besides right here. Um, I'm going to cut these. There's three welds in the front here, and then I'm pretty much going to section this thing up, meaning I'm going to cut pieces out of this that's manageable for me to carry. So we will be breaking out the plasma torch to take care of that. The color is green. It's hard to tell, but it is green. It's a lighter green than what I've got, but I'll walk you around it. So this is, you can tell by the tops, this is a GMC Chevy tailgate. I'm okay with that, but you can see that it is green. It's a lighter green, but we'll see how it goes. But since it's got four, 1, 2, 3, 4, this is a 9 foot bed. Now, is this where the fender wells are going to be? I don't know. I got to take the fenders off. I got to take that plate out of there. I already swept it out, but yeah. There's the front piece, but as you can see, it's like it's all welded all the way through there, and then a big chunk there, and then down there in some spots. A little bit of rust right there, a little bit right there, no big deal. But this side you can see the green a little better. And the big old farm lights. So kind of like a package deal, they gave me the long running boards and the filler panel. There's only one that's decent. This is the passenger side. This whole thing is shot out. This one's okay. It's starting to right there. I don't know if I'm going to use them or not, but they were part of it. I didn't want the tailgate. The tailgate did say GMC, but this is the right year. So this is a 47 through 53 GMC bed. You can tell because they're slanted. 54, they went flat. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start dismantling stuff, basically it's that. Once we get this out, once we get that bed out, it'll be a lot more manageable. So maybe I can just set it up here and see how it looks. But that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to start tearing this out. Well, guys, we got all the metal and the wood out. That took a while. So, I think I'm going to call that a day today. Yeah. So, we'll see what we get into here. I definitely have to clean up the trailer, get all that wood off there, the metal scraps, figure out what I'm going to do with this pile. So, yeah, I, I can't pick that up by myself. And I don't even think you'd probably need like 6 people, 3 on each side to pick that thing up. Um, so I got to figure that out. So we'll be at it. Good morning, guys. So first thing this morning, I just cleaned all my carnage up, the boards, the metal, because I park my truck here, so I want to make sure it's all clean. I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to pressure wash it all the gunk out of it. But what I want to do is I want to get these fenders off, that one and that one. The thing is that they're attached with screws. Well, not really screws, but maybe I can hold the camera there and I can show you. So it has a series of Phillips head bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 per side. So the inside fasteners are pretty much gone, right? I don't even know if that's where I'm going to put the fenders once I get the bed on here. But we're talking about the bed, and I want to take a break from cleaning up all this metal and wood and all that stuff. So Mike's, tell you how I got this. So about 3 months ago, I hit up Mike's son. So Mike's son, he builds 3100 trucks. So kind of like my blue truck the first one I built. He kind of got me into, to be honest with you, he's the one that kind of got me into building these things like 5-6 years ago. So I hit him up a couple months ago, and I was like, "Hey, man, he has a lot of parts. Like, he'll go anywhere and pick up parts. He doesn't care." But I asked him, "Hey, do you have a long bed, a 9-foot bed?" Because the long bed, they had like two different sizes. I think one was like, you got your standard box, and then you would have like a 7-foot, and then you have the 9-foot. And I need 9-foot. And to be honest, they're kind of rare. So he was like, "No, I don't have anything that long." I was like, "Okay." Fast forward here to a couple days ago, he was like, "Hey man, are you still interested in a long bed?" And I go, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "Well, I just picked up a farm truck. It's a GMC 250, which is the big truck. It's not big, but it doesn't have the big front end, but it's just big. It's a big farm truck." And I was like, "Yeah." I said, he told me what he wanted for it. It was way cheap for this. He's really just interested in the cab. He has no desire to build a long bed. He does the LS swaps and stuff like that. He's very good at it. But I was like, "Yeah, what color is it?" He goes, "It's green." I said, "Oh, even perfect, even better." So we worked out a price, and then yesterday morning, I went over to Mike's house because the truck was over there, and we just disassembled the truck. So we actually had to lift this off the truck. We used a Sawzall, cut all the mounts, lifted it off the truck with Mike's forklift. He's got a huge tractor with forks in the front. And then we just set it on here, and here we are. So I kind of wish we would have put it the other way, so the front was facing this way, so it would be a lot easier to just pick up and then put down, because I could back the trailer up pretty close to it, where it would just kind of like be a shimmy slide like the Egyptian style with rollers, you know, that whole pyramid thing. But here we are. So what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to pop the fenders off, make it a little bit lighter. Maybe the Zeifman clan, aka my sons, have enough oomph in them to pick these up. I mean, they're gamers, right? So they got finger dexterity for sure. So, I mean, hey, it's just about lifting it up. But fender's off, and then I want to pressure wash all the gunk out of there. I'll probably have to replace at least one cross member. This one right here, because it's all kind of, it's roached out right there. And then right here along the whole sides, there's actually like a lip or a 90. That's where they usually rust out, which you can see daylight down through there. But that's usually where they rust out because the two pieces of metal are together, dirt gets in there, and then bada bing, you've got holes. But overall, this is a good bed. They're straight. I mean straight. That's uncommon for a farm truck. Completely straight rails. Like I was saying, I probably will not use those side skirts. He just kind of threw them in there. One's roached. The other one's not bad, but it's just not the right size for what I need. And plus, I want to build the box. I want the sides of the box to go all the way down to the running boards that I'm going to make. So there's no filler panel. It's just a big square all the way down. So I'm going to have to add metal to the bottoms. But way cheaper than me buying the material, I'll tell you that much. Way cheaper. So I'm going to set the camera up. I'm going to probably just kind of like cut up these little bolts here, especially the ones down below. Those are in a tough spot. Get the fenders off. See if my sons are around that we can 180 this baby this way, and then I'll back it up, pressure wash the heck out of it, and yeah, it'll be awesome. My whole goal is to try to get this just sitting here. I just want it sat here so I can make my mounts for the tires or for the wheel wells. I can make the mounts. That way this will go on and off in the same spot every time, right? So sorry about my neighbors mowing the lawn. That's cool. So let me get this all set up here. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna try to pop these fenders off. When we sat the thing down, it did crush the bottom of this fender here on the front side, but it's all rusted out anyway, so it doesn't surprise me. I can move it out. I can make a piece of metal. It's just like the Volkswagen fenders in the bottom. There's no big deal. But overall, I mean, did I want to use these fenders? I didn't. I really didn't. But since I got them, we'll see how it looks. I think they're pretty bulbous, so I think it'll work with the bulbous front end. Yeah, maybe someone will say, "Hey, man, that's for a Chevy truck. Why do you got it on your Ford?" Well, I got Volkswagen parts too in there. Whatever, you know, I don't care. It's a Frankenstein. Wouldn't say it's a rat rod because it's not really a roddy part, but it's definitely getting some parts from other cars, and that's fine with me. So, like I said, let me get going. All right, guys. So as you can tell, my phone decided to overheat. I record with my phone, and it just kind of didn't get anything. But I cut the bolts to get the fenders off, and then I took the bed. Basically, I spun it around, so the front is now facing the front or the back of the trailer. I had to use all these boards on it to shuffle it around. So now I just pushed the trailer back up to as far as the ramps can go to the wheels, because I can't take off this rear rampy thing and because of how the hinges are. Anyway, so now I'm going to try to maneuver this. I have not pressure washed this. I vacuumed it all out, all the channels and everything. I cut all the bolts that held the boards in, because the boards are held in with metal strips, and then the bolts come down and then they attach to the bottom. So what we're going to do, or what I'm going to try to do, out of 3 sons, 2 of them are at work, so I only have 1. This may be a little bit too much. It's heavy. It's still heavy, but it's not as heavy since everything's apart. I mean, we could probably pick it up and move it over, but this is a big stretch over here, and I don't want to hurt his back. Let's be honest. That's not what I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my gloves on, and I'm going to start inching this thing forward and forward and forward until it's sort of in place. The second beam here, so there's one here, one here. So this one beam should fall, if my measurements are correct-ish, should fall on that right there. And then I can adjust from there, but at least it'll sit here, and then probably somewhere over here it'll sit down. But I mean, I can put little shims in here, but the whole idea is to get it up on here. That's kind of like what I want to do. So let me get my gloves. Sorry, I'm kind of rambling here, but this was not fun moving this thing around by myself. Kind of comical, actually. I'm sorry the phone overheated. But anyway, so basically it's just kind of like, just kind of pushing it, lifting it, pushing it, lifting it. Okay. I'm just trying to catch it, so it's in between here. Let me see if I can put you guys in a better spot so you can see all the action. I don't know. That's a little better. Okay, here we go. Oh, I broke the light. Okay. Okay. So she's on, but she's a little tall. So the issue is this one. This one right here is keeping me from lowering it down. Here, here, up here is no big deal. There's nothing there. But it's this guy right here. So I don't think I may be able to take that out, but she looks pretty rusty. On that side, definitely. And then kind of lower it down. So, give me a minute. Let me clean up the trailer real quick, get all the bolts and nuts and metal out of the way, and then we'll be back and take a peek, and then I can cool down a little bit, stand in front of the fan. I'll be back. All right, guys, so I took the cross beams out except the front one, obviously, because that's holding the front besides that panel. Yeah. The whole thing is I want the bed to sit low, and I needed those out. I'm actually probably going to use 2 of these. I'm going to put them back in once I get my height to rest across here, and I can actually move them where the bed bolts used to be, right? So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower this down. Let me move you over here. My glasses are all sweaty. Okay, so we'll slowly lower it down. Actually, I'm probably going to hit. I may not hit that. Maybe. Let's see. So am I going to hit? That's real close, but I think we'll be okay. How about on this side? Yeah, that's fine. We'll figure out side to side once I get my height. Yeah. See, the whole key here is these fenders. Yeah, like you can see it. Okay. There we go. You see, like right here, this is where the fender would normally go up high. And I am not opposed to dropping this and then building the floor up so it's a lot higher. Doesn't matter to me. I'm looking for the look. Yeah. So what what needs to happen, I think, is I have to move these blocks down, maybe like that. Okay, yeah. All right, now we're starting to get to where I want to be. All right. I know this may look goofy to some, but overall, in the big picture of what I'm thinking, it's going to be perfect. Why is that? Ah, okay. We're hitting. So we're going to have to trim that. There we go. Okay. And we'll get our side to side. Yeah. Let's go this way. Oh. You don't really have anything holding that. I think I got to get a tire on it. Yeah, let me put the tire back on it, and then we'll go from there. I'll be right back. Okay, guys. So I've got, according to this, it's level. The bed is level this way. But, and she's got full weight on the ground. Obviously, tires or whatever make a difference. But we got to see what's that angle. So this angle is 0.4 down. So this is 1.6. So if we raise that up probably 2 inches, let's see, or 1.5 inches. We'll go 1.5 inches. Inch and a half, okay. All right. At okay, so now we're 0.8. That was 0.3. This is still sitting level. So if we raise this up, side to side. Well, that's not bad. Right there. But it feels like the whole thing needs to be yeah, okay. So the front says it's level. The front says it's level like that. Well, actually, it's 0.2. So we got to get it centered up, right? Yes. because probably what I'll be doing is these guys right here have the mounts right there. So it's really about just kind of sticking them in place. Because not only do they have the mounts there, but they also have the mounts for the boards. And like I said, I'm okay if I have to false the floor a little bit or raise the floor up in the bed. Actually, we'll go above. There we go. Just like that. We'll bring it above that lip. Yeah. Like that. Do I want to go that way or do I want to go the other way? All right, let me kind of fiddle around with this. I mean, unless you want to, I don't think you want to sit there and watch me think this through. So once I get a game plan, we'll come back. All right, guys, so I put the fender back on. So when I'm finding center of this fender to the center of the wheel, the whole bed has to be shifted back like quite a bit. Like that much. Even though this bed is 9 feet and I need a 9-foot bed, this came off from a regular cab, so that's probably the difference in the front. So instead of making the fenders line up where they need to be, I'm just going to push the bed forward, and then I'm going to move the fenders back to where they need to be. Yep. So that's kind of my executive decision. So I'm starting to get tired here. Starting to get late in the day already. But let's see. Let me push the bed back forward, get it squared up, and then maybe get those cross members in and attached. Yeah, let's try that. All right, here we go. Yep, I'm gonna go with that height. And this is purely guesstimation. Well, it's somewhat mounted. I got the cross members back in where I want them. I like the height. Obviously, I took the battery out last week for to put the seat in and stuff, and I haven't built the box yet over there to put the battery over there to rerun the line, so I can't pull it out. But overall, that's going to be good. I won't need any wheel humps on the inside because these wheels clear, so I know the ones with the back spacing out will be no problem. So now it's just getting it side to side. Front to back, I'm good. These are now in. Those cross beams are in, so it's square. So now it's just getting it squared up like this. So as I'm looking at it right now, it looks like it's kind of going this way a little bit. But with these guys in, basically what I'm saying is now I can move around as one unit. So I still have to make mounts for the front. I mean, I could take those off. As long as I have these attached to the back, that front shouldn't tip. It shouldn't, but I just took them out. So let me just kind of shim it back and forth. Four and a half. So I need it 5. That's pretty heavy. Oh, too far. Five. So that's 5. Bring this back to forward. There we go. So that's 5 and that's 5. Off the frame rail to the bedside, 4 3/4. Four and 7/8. So I'm in just an 8, or yeah, 16. So we'll lock that in, and then up front here. So from that hole right there, I am 5 1/2. It's that hole. So this is at 6. So it has to go that way a little. No. So now it's just the game here of getting it square. So 5 3/4. This is still 5. 5 3/4. 5 7/8. This is holding it up right here. There we go. See how that just settled? You probably didn't see how that just settled. There we go. 5 3/4, and 5 3/4. So now it's centered. So I'm centered in 2 spots. So let me lock this in. Right there. And then I'll lock those fronts in. So now this is squared. So there it is. Yep. She is squared up. All right. Ugh. So I'm going to take a break for a little while. I may be back or I may not, because it's like 112 degrees out here today. It's pretty hot. But we got that. This is in place now. So now we just have to fit the fender to the tire, which means basically it has to go back. It has to go back about 4 inches. And that's no big deal. That's easier to do that than trying to add metal up here or whatever. I mean, let's see how close I am to the back of the cab. So in the center, what? Yeah. So that's a little under 3/4 of an inch away from the cab in the center. Okay. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. All right. I'm going to go take a break. All right, guys. So we got the bed disassembled. Then we got it put on. It's square side to side. It's level across the top. So what I did was I came out after I ate something, and then if you look there, I got the rear fender on. So I had to move the rear fender back 5 inches. So let me bring you in there and I'll show you. All right, guys. So as you can see, the fender is now in the center of the tire. So I knew right where the center of this fender was, so I marked it. And then from the existing center bolt hole, I measured over and it was 5 inches exactly. So I put a new hole in there. So all these holes have to be drilled, but shifting the fender back is a lot easier than than adding 5 inches of material in the front, right, to lengthen it more. But I think that looks great. I like the height of the bed. Everything is good. You have to, well, it's going to be another inch lower here because I'm going to make just one running board that goes across. This right here will be extended down. So I'm not going to use a filler panel at all. It's just going to be straight down, and then it's going to have running board right there. And wherever that running board goes from here and lands to here even, I'm going to just lop off the bottom of the fender because it's already shot out already. But reuse the cross bracings there and there. This side I have not set up yet with the fender. It's basically this side because I can see it. I can kind of stand back and look at it. But I think once that gets cleaned up a little and hit with that patina sauce, I think it's going to match up really good. Really good. So what's funny is, like, if you look at it here, it looks like the bed is running downhill to the cab. But the cab and the bed are at the same angle. So I don't know. Once we pull it out, once I put the battery back in or relocate the battery, because I think the battery is going to go right there. Once I get that in there and I can fire it up, we'll back it back out, and then we'll stand back and we'll look. And then we'll adjust from there if I need to move the front up or whatever, because that's the only thing I can see that might be different. But when you run from here to the cab, it's 5 inches all the way down. Like, I measured from there, there, and there, and it was all 5 inches even from the cab. And then up here, we're about 3/4 of an inch away from the back of the bed. We had to bring it out. Let me walk around it. All right, guys, so there it is. It looks pretty good, like the height-wise. Yep, I'll go with that all day long. And this side I have to finish putting the wheel on there for the fender. But yeah, not bad. Alrighty, guys. So another great weekend in the books. We ended up picking up the bed yesterday, tearing that down, getting all the crap out of it, putting it back up on, and then we squared it side to side, front to back, and I got it at the height I wanted at. Pushed the fender back 5 inches so it would fit the center of the tire. I like that a lot better than trying to do anything else. I think that's perfect. So I put the battery back in. So with the battery behind the seat, it's really easy to get to. Now that I'm going to make that one cushion on the passenger side fold forward, so I can just reach in there and get whatever I need to do. Loosen up the cable, put it back on. Now to put the battery in and out, I just had to take those 4 bolts off, and then the whole seat lifted up about 1.5 feet and out of the way without having to disconnect the shifter. I could weasel the battery back down in there, that big class 31 battery that was out of the bus. So if I can do it with that big bus battery, I know I can do it with one of those red tops. So that's going to be it this weekend. Again, guys, thanks for coming out, and hey, go out and build something cool, guys. One weekend at a time. Catch you on the next one. Bye.